Hello guys, it's me Bromby. This is a Warlanders live episode, and today we're going to be talking again about the BOS update that's going to be coming in the near future. It'll be a few months, but we went to Fort Defiance trying to find a rat ant because we don't know a whole lot of places or I don't know a whole lot of places to look that can have a good chance at having them. And then we ran into an NPC sitting on the floor, just sitting there in Fort Defiance. Jonah Ito was his name?
Ito. Yeah, he's Chinese, I believe. Because in Fallout 76, that was a little, sorry for the burping, it was a little bit before they started ditching all the Chinese and stuff. At the later points in the game, if you were Chinese, you were killed. But during this time in the game, that shit just happened, and then they value the people's lives a little bit more, even though it just happened. Also, what's the point worrying about it now that everyone's dead?
But it kind of just I knew why he was there, but it kind of just struck me because for all this time, Fort Defiance was blank empty when it came to human NPCs. For good reason.
Yep.
But it makes sense that this guy doesn't really care about his safety in this because, he's in one of the more dangerous places of the wasteland. But
yeah,
he had a whole backstory on him to boot. I didn't get to listen to all of it, but I know that you did.
Yeah, I did. I kind of was hoping he'd be like an NPC or something.
Right, like an ally.
But that kind of struck me as well on the way he was chatting, the things he was saying, the way he acted sad. It reminded me, not long from now, we're going to be having the update for Fallout First. Not Fallout First, the update for the BOS. My brain is not working right now. But, yeah, that's coming up soon in fall of this year. So, to me, I would say it wouldn't be too off to see over time things are happening. He's in Fort Defiance where they all fell. He's sad he lost his sister. And then Atlas is being now noticeably taken over by the BOS. Yet we haven't seen it yet. So I kind of told you before that that's going to happen. Things are going to start changing around the game for the existence of the BOS. A lot of people kind of believe that they're going to not go back to Camp Venture and stuff, but I'd imagine if they're taking over Fort Defiance with that NPC that had some sort of lineage/linkage to the BOS, in this case, Ito was a younger brother. He blamed himself for not being there with her when she went down and died, and he's just sitting there, moping. And I was there thinking, well, maybe if I make him happy, he'll perk up, and then look, the game's gonna crash on me again just for picking stuff up. But I kind of thought, well, maybe he could be a cool NPC that would have a bit of dialogue if the BOS came back and they recognized him, and you could basically make him an NPC for a temp level, and he'd go back and be like, yeah, I kept him under my wing and tried to convince him that it was time to find a new meaning for his life, because he just doesn't really care for life anymore. I picked options like it's better to die for something or live for something than to die for nothing or whatever.
He said it was better to die for something than live for nothing.
That's right. And he's like, yeah, you're right, but I don't have anything else to live for. So I'm like, he's going to be one of those kids. And I figured, well, that'd be kind of cool to have him as an NPC that just exists in your camp, maybe moping a couple times, and you might get a little bit of a reward to get him to believe he's not nothing, because he believes he's nothing. But I also thought, eventually, don't know when, eventually though, he'll become existent into the game as possibly as one of the first few PCs to link to the BOS. He's all of a sudden back. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if he was the one of many NPCs that showed up just to be for the BOS. I mean, I would enjoy it if they make him, if they get him to join. They make him with some dialogue that thanks us for existing and not, treating him like shit or something.
Right.
I would like to see that. I mean, will we get to? Maybe not, but maybe. I mean, it's one we don't know the answer to that just quite yet. I figured that would be kind of cool to me to see once a man or a young man hating his life as a whole, and he went from hating his whole life existence to maybe you're right, I'm gonna try to do better moment. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
He finds a meaning by finishing what his sister started, in other words. And it would make him feel better about his life if he did so. So giving him purpose and physical meaning to a nothing world, a world full of nothing and hatred and death, and letting him come out of the ashes and say, you know what, I'll do it for her. That would be a character arc that Bethesda is definitely capable of doing, but will they? It's anyone's guess right now. It really is anyone's guess. Yeah, Thrall, I told you that they just reversed the idea of a garage door, flat out reversed it to make the Red Rocket system look the Red Rocket garage more fun, and it gave you a bit of lore inside of how those are created. I told you that it's a backwards mechanism, where usually you put that stuff, the door goes inward, as I said before, and this one goes outward, right? And they make use of the awning to make that work, which I thought was pretty cool. But again, right now it's but anyone's guess at this point. I can't say for sure whether or not Bethesda will or won't. But right now, given the circumstances, I don't think a lot of players will make it to Wastelanders before they say fuck it. The things that are happening with Todd, I don't think a lot of players have long. I think a lot of them will stay much longer because they're so sick of the bullshit that's happening or something of that nature.
Right.
After all, it's Todd we're talking about. I've been told that for years some people have known he's a liar and stuff. He also does not seem to give a shit currently about a certain event. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a limb and say it's very, very, very possible that he might not give a fuck. And this might go unnoticed for so long. And then people are going to start making something's going to happen eventually. Somewhere, something will happen that'll change that. But again, I'm not going to put it past Bethesda to not do anything about it either. They've been known to say it's fixed and then ban people for it being fixed or whatever. At this point, you can fill in gaps like crazy all day long of why we did or didn't do something. But that would be my guess of why he's there. It's to add a little bit more of the puzzle together that we don't know about yet. There is even if they make it elaborate as hell, it's like I said, I'm not getting too hyped because again they don't seem to care right now about fixing the game. They just care about updating the game. So I won't be excessively playing the game. I sure as hell won't be getting excited for small things either. Again, because
I'm gonna hold all this information with a grain of salt as to not get hyped for this shit, because
all it would take is one of us to get hyped for literally
and
nothing.
we fall into it and we get our hopes up so high, and when it's not as we expected, it starts crashing down. I'd rather not have that.
Yep. So now you're thinking with your needle. Now you're kind of getting it, why to explain why I did many times over to you. Like, why I really got explaining. That's why.
Right.
They don't, from what, like I said, what I can tell, they don't seem to care. If I could directly tell. It'd be different if it was like, oh, hey, you're having an issue, let me help you fix that, or something of that nature. But it looks to me like all they're going to do is ban people. They're banning people for playing the game, and if they're not doing that, they're doing other things that may be far worse. So, I mean, come on, Bethesda. Let's chop, you know. It's not super hard to do certain things. It's not going to kill you. But listen to the community a little bit. Just a little bit. Just say, maybe you guys know what you're doing, or maybe you're right, I'll do that. It's not that difficult.
It's not hard.
And you gotta see a lot of people just leaving left and right, and no contact. I mean, I've also seen how bad they are at communicating. They're terrible at communicating. And again, that just goes back to saying, once again, we know what we're doing, and don't question it. We're not going to fix it for you, so please stop asking, or something. And then it's like, well, fine, we'll do it. And then they're like, banned. I mean, just, if you got to ban players for doing bad things in the game, as much as you are now, you're not doing your job. I'm going to mention that flat out for those who might know someone or whatever. But Bethesda's got to ban people as much as they are doing, only for the problem to get worse. That tells me that the company's not ready to do their job and actually succeed in any shape, form, or fashion. I'm going to be as blunt as I can with it. If you can't get the grip on your group of people that play your game because they're tired of the bullshit that floods this game, it's not. I kind of agree with them in a way. They're doing, in a weird, twisted, fucked up way, they're doing you a favor with that stuff. I mean, my game lags, and all I have to do is go into my stash box and try to pull up my shotgun shells that I had stockpiled. And it's like waiting for a response from the server. That's bad.
That's
Stability.
Really bad.
The more people ask for a stable game, the more Bethesda says, I believe, says, fuck you. We're not doing that. Please stop asking. We don't need a Brotherhood of Steel group. I know you made a big announcement and you said we're gonna, but you should have waited and you should have accompanied for the possibility of more problems. And like I said, the only way you're going to avoid this is if you do your jobs and consider certain things in the process. So no, don't try to be funny and do other things. You know, there's no reason. You're just trying to be funny and tease people now.
Right. And they're
just teasing us.
Right.
And saying, well, we don't need to do it. We're just going to do what we want.
What have I said time and time again? It would be better if they just fix the problem and not try to fix the people.
Fix the players. Correct?
Because whether or not there is no succeeding on the fix the players issue, which is why I mentioned put heavy emphasis on the word try. But you can fix the problem, and then the players can't do it anymore.
Right.
But if
or you can do different, and you know, there's some things you could do differently as well to make it where they're less likely to do it if it is there. again, if a group like that is doing what they're doing, Bromby, there's a lot of players that were like, they're flat out saying on Reddit and shit, other groups, I don't give a fuck if they permaban me. I'm gonna do it if I see it, because this game is not worth following the rules anymore. And I kind of agree with them in a smaller scheme. When you get a company like Bethesda not doing, when doing would be beneficial to them in the greater scheme, and they don't do, I can't say I'm much of a follower anymore, honestly. I mean, what happened? We went in and we did a video on how we support Bethesda all the way, and what happened? A week of hatred and torture, and I believe that was a way too immediate to be a coincidence. And I lost all faith in that company. I still think Todd needs to learn how to eat shit, or at least learn to crawl before he can walk, because they're just throwing shit in and out of the ringer, and then they're like, oh, I know what I'm doing, don't worry. Okay, you need to go to the timeout corner, Todd. You don't know what you're doing, and again, that's what I feel like they're doing. I know what I'm doing, don't worry. Don't worry, citizen. I'm a professional bomb disposal. And looks at their bomb disposal card, and they're not, and it's like, oh, we're fucked. Oh, you're not fucked. You're just not as safe as you would normally be. Yeah, we're fucked. You get my point?
Yeah.
You're sending in a way. I'm going to say this from my military perspective. You're sending a boy to do a man's job. You're letting Todd just go in and do. And from my tactical experience and other things, I can also still apply to games. He doesn't know what he's doing. He just doesn't. There's no guidance. When the community is not happy with us about the triangle of success, when the dev team when it goes from the good dev team and other things to know it's just game and dev, it went from being good game, working dev. What do you think's going to happen to the community? They're going to do what they're doing right now. Bethesda, and then they're going to throw a fit on YouTube, and eventually they're going to start running out of money. What's basically forming before us is kind of what I was expecting to happen within like 4 years. It's every day it's getting worse, and the movement started. Now, did we start this movement? No. It was like pulling teeth out of skulls to just get people to consider it. But all of this considered, I think we're finally getting our movement we need.
Yes.
If Bethesda doesn't change their ways, I'm worried for them, because some of those devs probably have families or have something they can do, and they think they're doing a good job. But again, how dumb are you? If you think you're doing a good job and you're screwing players over in the millions, 5% of ass kissers and bootlickers is not as fun as, as having a friendly fan base that, in a way, if you're good, you get promoted, in a way. You don't get in trouble, that's what I mean. If you can get in the game and say, there's this game so full of bugs that I can exploit them and legally not get in trouble, that's pretty bad for a game, if you ask me. Now, there are legal procedures in play to avoid the company getting sued, but again, if it's been in there for more than 4 days and it's been made known to the company and they haven't done anything in at least 3 or 4 at minimum, you can't legally punish them if it was already made known when it happened and you didn't jump in and say, hey, I see you found a bug, thank you, we'll fix that. You can't legally do anything about that, man. I'm sorry, but you can't. That's illegal. That's like, again, like I said, giving a guy a gun and telling him it's your amendment right to defend yourself, then throwing people at him to defend himself, and then arresting him for massive counts of murder when it's your gun, your people. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
they're not doing their job. That's what I'm trying to say. They know it's in the game, and they're just like, okay, man.
Don't.
Score Speed's Quinn looks more like a bomber plane than a dragon, and then she's shooting her rings out of her ass. Okay. Cool story, bro. You can share that on the Reddit page and sound so cool that you find a new lie or a new bug you created. They don't fix it, but they'll blame the community for this problem. Way back when, he used to blame this other games, by the way, other games he's gotten a hold of and fucked up. Something would happen, and he blamed the community for it. Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls. Hell, Doom Eternal had some issues recently. Did they jump in and fix it? Yeah, but they banned a bunch of players and said it was their fault. They had to find a fail-safe, a fallout, to punish an individual if something happens. That's if they do anything at all. And Todd's known to do that. He's known to lie, excessively lie. I mean, was it bigger world, more res?
Fallout 3 will have like 300 endings, is what he said.
I felt so lied to.
That was a big fucking lie, too.
And he got in trouble for it, apparently, but did it keep? No, it didn't keep. That punishment didn't stay. Whatever they did, it didn't stay. Because he's still here, he's still making lies, and he still expects like trouble. And now his fan base is leaving, and you think if his fan base starts leaving enough, he'd turn around and say, oh, wait, I'm sorry, I was mistaken, or, yeah, I lied, I'm sorry, let me fix my problem, and try not to do it again. No, it's more like, here, I know you don't want it, but you're getting a new Brotherhood of Steel update. But the game is laggy, and I can't even exist without breaking. And if I do exist and it doesn't break, I'm at risk of getting banned because there's shit that's happening. Hey, how about that Brotherhood of Steel? Yeah, whoa, we're getting more Porsches and Rolls Royces and living the high life while you're sitting here getting banned for playing. They don't care. I'll say it again. They don't give a damn.
Paid $60 fucking dollars
if you're suffering because of their game. I think they kind of want it in a way. Again, that you don't have to consent to say that you don't want to be part of their game, whatever. You can leave, maybe, but that's it. There's no, I want my money back anymore. Australia did it once, and Todd's like, never again. He may say to the other countries, they can ban my game in their country, but in America, you can't do that. You'd have to break his fucking hand or something. His hand that's in the plan of whatever to get your money back, because you have to force it or break it because you're not getting your money back. And I don't know what we're gonna do. I hate to say it, man, but I'm very, very, very worried the future we have for this game. I'm scared. Because we're playing the game, and I'm having better Wi-Fi and stuff now that everything's fixed on my end. But that doesn't fix the issue that Ty can jump and ban you and me just for making YouTube videos about him. But again, like I said, I'm for the movement of getting the game fixed. I don't care if he permabans me. You have to kill me to stop me from doing this shit. Because he's asking for it at this point. He is asking for this publicity. He wants this publicity in some way, whether he admits it or not. So if he does anything to us at all, anything, it's to shut us up to avoid his already bad predicament from getting worse. But I tell you that was going to happen if we ever get a hold of him. I asked you to fix the game. It's not my fault you didn't listen.
Right.
I'm going to take his own little Raider joke that he made, and I'm going to shove it in his face. I asked you to fix the game. To fix those small problems, I asked you to work on them. I mean, I'm not asking for, then I wasn't asking for a right now thing. Now I'm done asking. I'm demanding. I want to see change in this game. And if I have to go up there find a way to force change, I'm going to force change. Because, it's just unacceptable. When other big YouTubers have to make videos called "What the fuck, Bethesda," their challenges are stupid. Everyone on Reddit right now is trending right now. The only thing that's trending is the problems the company's having. So I guess in the long run, we're making videos on how shit the game is, trying to get people to upvote, uprise, and make the company do good. But we didn't even notice that. Don't crash, game. Please don't crash. Oh, look, I almost crashed just for wanting to sit in a chair. But long story short, I think we managed to actually get the uprising going. We didn't need your friend that has excuses or whatever you want to call it. We don't need your channel that much anymore to make a big effort anymore because it's happening. We sit here and we're doing our thing, and we're talking about how shitty the game is, and Todd is just losing people. He's not making any effort to fix it. So I'm very happy that's happening, because he needs to understand. He needs to understand what he's done
and he needs
is wrong.
Yes.
And he needs to turn around and fix it. I'm no longer asking him nicely, though. Like I said before, Bombay, if I get a chance to, I'm forcing his deck. I'll force it. If I need to go get some money from William and pop up a couple $1 billion to take Todd and throw his ass in federal prison myself, I'll pay that money to do it. But I won't pay him to do jack shit, because, the more I play this game, the more I literally get money stolen from me. So, the more we exist in this game to try to have fun, the more I get stolen from, and then get higher risk of getting banned when he decides that he doesn't want to be a part of it no more. He's not likely going to care about any of this anymore, and I'm almost positive currently that as soon as he's done doing the things he's doing, he's just going to bail. And he's going to be like, lol, I'm so rich. Suckers. Bye. And then he goes, he leaves everyone else in the dust. The game has already flatlined itself, and all the players that stayed are, in his eyes, at that point, the biggest dumbasses to ever play a game. And it hurts me, especially because you live in West Virginia.
Yeah, I live
This
here.
is your home. He is, to me, in the quite literal sense, he's making your home look like shit. And I want to know why. I don't understand how any of it makes any sense. Like, Todd, what the fuck? Please explain.
Seriously, what the fuck? As I mentioned, it's not a representation of what. Hell, you don't even have half of a good chunk of West Virginia in there.
Right?
My hometown isn't even in this game, nor is any of the county that I live in.
Well, that's because the game has to be small.
True.
That was the only legit thing they did. Was so the Xbox wouldn't explode when you tried to play on it.
But the closest place to my home,
that, they haven't cared.
or the closest place to my home that I think exists, is either Charleston or Beckley.
You live near Beckley, the mining town. Oh boy.
I live within a good hour or two from there.
Not jokes. I'm sorry. But again, he doesn't. That's the only legit thing that I can give them, because if you don't do that, the Xbox will basically catch fire.
I understand.
You can't put the whole fucking state. Every game from Fallout's been like that. even
Right,
before
I understand
Todd
that.
yanked
I'll even
on
cut
it.
some slack on that statement, but still.
But still, you're right. It's not hard to fix things. Here's what pisses me off the most: the garage is a reverse mechanism, and what's not happening right now. We can't make an update for our game, but we can give you a reverse mechanism, go up and out style garage door for your cam for the Red Rocket. We can do that, no problem. No problem, no questions. I don't mind doing that. But I won't, just flat out won't make an update to make the game run better, crash less, give it more server stability. Let me try to find a way to explain this. How long do we have to be told no before they lose a fuck ton of people and then things start happening? How many times are they going to tell us no before someone leaves, goes and takes Zenimax and grabs them by the nuts and says, give me the fucking games, I'll do it, if you pussies won't do it? Do it mean kick Todd out? I'm worried for the guy who's going to do it, because he'll probably go to prison, but he'll get shit done, because that person, whoever he or she is, they're going to be hurt. That's going to hurt, man. Not going to lie. ZeniMax is going to be like, oh, you know what I mean? They're not going to know what to do because it's Todd's fault.
Yeah.
They're going to have to think, they're going to have to recoup, and then they're going to say, Todd, you son of a bitch, you failed us. We're dropping ZeniMax. Or ZeniMax is dropping you. Todd's going to cream his pants and say, finally, I get to do my shit, not worry about the repercussions of legal bindings to the company that would have me in prison if I did the things I'm doing right now. Yay! And then he's going to go on his little rampage, and he's going to have a field day. And all the shit we know is happening right now is never going to end. And if people are still in the game, all the ass kissers, bootlickers, and people that played the game since beta, they just wipe them. And he'll say the same thing he still says now. I get enough low levels to join my game because of the monstrosity that we made for Wastelanders being half-assed, that even if someone manages to get me in trouble, and I get the remote chance I do, I'm not going to fail. Because he's got a fair point. He's roped enough players in here that in the end it doesn't matter. If there is a little bit of an uprising or something happens, Todd's not going to fall apart. He's going to keep his cool, let everything happen, and lie his way out of it, and then he's going to let the low levels be the new people of the game. That's the new beta. Basically, what I'm saying is he's waiting for a new beta. If we can't get him to do, we're facing right now, Rabbi, we're facing a new beta. As we sit here and speak, we are facing a new beta. Do you know what that means, Rabbi?
It's gonna be shit.
It's already shit. It's gonna get worse. I wish I were a robot to give me a heart attack. I'm gonna shot you. Well, but you're right. That's what it is. We're in it. We're sitting in the new beta, the beta of 2020. This time, there's no one here to say, well, you only have 100 people or so at your fan base, and they can barely even do that. Fix your shit, dumbass. There's too many people saying best game ever. We realize what he did, and now he's getting as many ass kissers as possible, basically to keep his hand. He's keeping the best deck he can get right now, and he's telling, in a nutshell, telling everyone to go to hell. Hey, look, I found the sideshow Snellygaster.
Huh.
So, I may have found all the pieces to where the new one is. Remember, I told you that there's a new. They had to move those things now that they had the thing. Also, I found a bobblehead big guns. Interesting. Yeah, so I chose Snallygaster's up here on the bar. There's also a little porta diner. How cute! This game had potential. And I did not stutter there. It had potential. It still could have potential, but Todd's got to get away from it first. That boy, this is gay sounding. There's holotapes all over the place up here, damn it. My reputation is in the pool upstairs. And we have protesters. All these were in the buildings that got taken out. They've, fixed them. Huh. So basically, this is like I said, every room that was, every building and stuff that was closed up to a company for the new, the new update shit that we didn't need. Everything. The protesters, that boy, and my reputation. We're all in a building somewhere around Watoga. Protect and serve. Yes, you're right, Protectron. Yes, you can protect and serve.
Protect and serve.
You can do that. At least the Protectrons do their job.
Right.
I'm gonna make one of those jokes. If anything, the robots in the game could do a hell of a better job running Bethesda than Todd can. I'll say that out loud. Todd sucks. Did I just hear a piano? No, I'm probably hearing one of my daughters. They took the piano out of our room. So I'm borrowing this. Okay. Don't break it. So I think I said to him. But it's pretty bad when I can say an in-game character that was made by a company works better than the company.
Right. So
Watoga residents.
Well, I could vouch for you on saying that because it's true. Things are in a terrible state for the fucking dev team.
These holotapes are brutal. So it looks like instead of trying to do their job as a company, when it came time to when it came time to move stuff around and close things up and change things, they didn't say, "Oh, hey, we have a bunch of holotape drama amongst other things in this area. Now it's time to deal." That jukebox was turned off.
Huh.
Instead of fixing their problem, they hadn't fixed it yet. And when it came time to do that and try, the only thing they really, really, really did was move all the holotapes. They flat out just moved the holotapes and put them on one cluster. I'm on the roof of Watoga, right at Watoga Estates, And all the fucking holotapes are up there. Some of these were in the Enel Arena, and some of them were just scattered, non-existent locations, shit like that. Some of them weren't even affected by Wastelanders, yet all of them were up here. And it makes me wonder, what the actual fuck, Bethesda?
What the fuck?
You didn't even attempt to do anything. You just kind of existed, You existed and half-assed your job, is what I'm going to say. You half-assed so hard that you believed your own lie that it just works. And now that it's not working, it's failing, you don't really give a damn. Because you believe that lie now, just like your boss does. If you told ZeniMax it just works, how quickly do you think they'd fire you when they told you to do something? That's what I'm worried about, Brown Eyes. All this shit we're doing and working to complete, I'm very worried that shit's not going to happen. I look at that boy. Not only did they do that, oh wait, no, that's a different story, I bet. $5 is different. Fuck. Oh look, this is different stories. These holotapes are pretty dang. Now I'm listening to the mother's side of the story. What do you call it? This gives you a real good bit of lore here, actually, of these snobby rich people that you may notice back in other times, older times. This is how the mother is portrayed, where pish posh, powdered noses, and all that nonsense.
Oh.
And this is like eons ahead of our time with certain things, but also behind greatly. Yet here we are. Nuclear cars that don't work. A robot that's linked to Watoga that doesn't shut up when I go into buildings.
Oh, we don't even have color television.
I could deal without color television. That's fine.
Right. That's manageable.
But in the end of it all, I mean, truly in the end though, this is bad. They're just, some of the shit's just not working the way they need it to work. And I mean, it would have been so easy to say, yeah, I guess I could see a problem here. Let me try to help you real quick. Instead of just sending you back a half-ass email saying, whoop-de-doo, it's not our fault. Make sure you fix your problem before calling us again. I did it to them too. I sent them an email, flat-out email. I said, don't tell me to submit a goddamn ticket, because you know you're not going to do shit. And I told them the problems in the game. You know what they told me to do? Submit a ticket. We'll review your ticket as soon as we can. I replied, go to hell. Because they don't do their job. And if they were doing their job, I wouldn't be saying that to them. I wouldn't be looking them in the eye and saying, go to hell. Yet, it happened, bro.
It happened.
And they haven't yet to care either. I mean, it's getting to the point now where whatever you do to them, it's going to be deserved. Again, when I talked about uprising this shit. I was always worried there was that one guy in the crowd that's like, can we kill Todd or something like that? And I don't want that to happen. But again, like I said, at this point, whether or not I want him to die or not, the shit they're doing, he might get executed, or at least publicly. Not like one of those things where they kill him or anything. I'm talking about publicly, like he's going to get shamed to the point where his reputation as Todd Howard dies. I think that's about deserving to me. To me, that's deserving.
Yeah.
You're kind of asking for it. Oh, look, is this the underground?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Transit Hub. We turned that down. I forgot that these elevators are loud. I don't like loud elevators. I don't like elevators, though. Do we not have an elevator? Oh, look, it's Transit Hub elevator. Okay. Oh. What the hell? Okay. That makes no sense. When your neighbor lives in an apartment that has 4 flights of stairs, each stair is like huge as fuck. Take the elevator. Oh wait, don't take the elevator. It's dangerous. I forgot. Well, have fun walking. Or we could talk about the long moment where I was somewhere with Amber, and they said you had to have a fucking key card to use the elevator or something like that. You had to have a key card or a password or some shit because of undesirables doing things in the elevator. And I'm just sitting there looking like, well, what? You know, I'm sitting there just thinking, what could these undesirables have been doing in the elevator that makes you want a password? No reply. We were on a trip, and I didn't like it. I did not like the service. That was the only hotel out there at that point where we were. And they were like, we're the only hotel unless you want to go miles and miles. It might as well be daytime by the time you get to the hotel. We were only there for like 2 days, and I felt like it was in the back of a porno bar at minimum. I didn't really care. They were the people there were like, you know, you need fuck. Gave me a crash. Because we're making a video talking about Todd. I get to be booted from the game for picking up some glass bottles. I'm glad
fucking glass bottles.
At least, but glass bottles for bourbon, I think, whiskey. They can't handle. Todd needs to fix this shit. I mean, it's even gotten so bad before, Bob. I know you've seen it before, where I would load into a world with you, and it would disconnect me.
Yeah.
You get to the Vault-Tec loading screen, and it would disconnect me. Because it can't even handle loading sometimes.
It can't even handle the simple task of loading in the fucking game. The game...
So I'll say it flat out. Whatever happens to Todd is completely deserving. No matter what. Nothing good's going to happen to him because he's not doing his job at all. So I'll mention it. I'll say it. Nothing good comes out of what he's doing. He's ruined the name of Fallout to make himself some ching, and that's it. You know, I would love to see this game go back to the way it needs to be, you know, a true Fallout game. But again, it had potential. That he got a hold of it, he fapped all over with his fantasies of making millions of dollars off of people who just want to play a good game. You know, I see a lot more pay to win in the future of this game as well. Oliver got sick of having me ask to share with me the future of Todd and his group. Seriously, don't crash because of the corn. I'm gonna flip my lid in a minute. It just crashed me because of corn.
Fucking corn. The game can't even handle itself.
I didn't even pick it up. I just brushed over it and tried to eat it. Anything better you want to try to go do? I think I've made myself pretty clear here. The fact that someone needs to turn Todd.
Todd's got to go. He's got to go.
Turn him down.
Right.
His game is a turn off. When I hear the word Fallout now, I want to go throw up. I'm not even lying. I do want to throw up when I hear the word Fallout, because they can't do their job. They just can't. And it's so bad that I just want to puke. The more I hear the word Fallout, please kill me. I'd rather go play Fortnite and other games I strongly don't. At the time, I just like more than Fallout. Now they're becoming, in hindsight, better than Fallout. That says a lot right there.
I can get into a Fortnite match and complete it without fucking crashing. I might get killed by some 12-year-old with a fucking shotgun, but that's better than crashing all the goddamn time.
And 12-year-olds with a shotgun. That sounds like a lethal weapon. Yeah. But you get my point, though.
Yeah.
As long as people kind of understand what they are getting into.
Like I said,
if you're asking, should you get it? No. Please,
like I said, this is why I spent $60 fucking dollars on COD World War II, and I've had a shit ton of a better experience.
Yeah.
I would even say I've gotten kind of hooked on the game myself, but I am kind of sad to see that you can barely play it a lot of the time.
Well, I haven't gone back to try it since I fixed my thing.
Right.
I might go and try it again later.
But
get my sister yammering on. She's probably talking to Clover.
So is what needs to be said here? Are we good to end the video?
I would hope so. I don't know how. I don't know. I can't think of anything else to say to drive it on home.
Right.
Someone needs to do something about
that. That
this.
should be. There's one thing we should take from this. This should be our movement motto. Fix the problems, not the people. Because you can't fix the people. But anyways, guys, that'll be the end of this video. Thank you guys for being here to talk about this.
Thank you for having me again.
I enjoy having you.
Hope things get fixed soon.
I do too. But I will thank you guys.